Welcome back to Seek His Strength and welcome back to the Seek His Stand new show. We've bringing you this every Monday for the last fucking 6 months now at this rate.
It's a long time, yeah.
I like doing them. I look forward to them. Loads of great tags as usual. So starting off this week, as usual, with the weightlifting section. Now, there's a lot from the Europeans, and you'll see that on like Tarokadi's channel and Weightlifting House and stuff. But you'll obviously have seen that Lasha won the Europeans again, and a surprise to no one. Great performance from Lalian.
Winner, chicken dinner from Lasha.
Winner.
Yeah. Lalian came out of the abyss on this one.
If you were paying attention,
I wasn't.
He didn't.
Yeah. I just remember.
He didn't.
That hang snatch last week really, it caught me for 6. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect it.
Yeah, that was actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
So our favourite part of any major competition is the large training lifts that come out
retrospectively
after. So Lasha did 217, and we know Lasha was injured last year. He had the Worlds, wasn't in great shape. Not in great shape, but he wasn't snatching 220 plus. Then we saw a bit of his training prep. Didn't see any videos. Kind of he went 0 dark, 30 dark. And here are some big lifts that he has done. Before that, looks like the biggest lifts he did. So he did 222 in competition yesterday. Mm-hmm. Here is a 217. So I haven't even watched this yet. I just clicked in the video, keeping the reaction.
217, training with nods on. Gone dark. Oh,
here we go. It looks exactly as it will look.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I imagined this was going to look.
That is... 217 should not move like that.
No, he's actually making it bad for himself because he's making it less impressive.
Yeah.
So yesterday's second attempt was 217 and then went 222. Then he only took 2 clean and jerks, 252 to take the win on the gold and the total and the snatch, obviously. He uploaded this, or Dr. Georgie, his physio, 261. So we're all kind of wondering, would he get back into the big clean and jerks? I think everyone... It's not that anyone didn't think he couldn't, but we were wondering, would he do that, you know? So here's 261. Anything in the 260s for a super is obviously enormous. Haven't watched this either, keeping it fresh. Very serious loading. That's business.
Yeah, no, that's today's heavy clean and jerk day if you're loading a bar like that. Oh my god.
That's a black tie event loading. Like that's
I
not
don't know. Careful. I don't know, has his jerk dip improved?
That's not a business casual loading. Like that's
No. That's not a Thursday afternoon session. That's a fucking big session loading of the barbell.
Tuxedo suit loading. So 261. Let me watch that again. His cleans they look slow, but they can't be slow.
No.
But he's very good at pulling under, obviously.
I think his jerk dip has improved.
Wait, that clean looks faster too. Yeah, it definitely did.
It definitely has.
That's all improved.
So obviously last year with the injury, the jerk dip, the dip and drive during his jerk was kind of one of the main areas where you'd see that kind of popping its head up, but it's definitely improved there.
Maybe because he was always training so hard, and Anton said he was always sore and he was always training. Maybe the opportunity to build back up again has given him a chance to work with those weights all the way up and build a little bit more consistency and improve technique, because obviously it's very hard to be changing technique at 90% for anyone, but if you're trying to change and your 90% is 250, it's obviously far more difficult to make changes. So maybe he had an opportunity to work a little bit harder on those, had a break, was able to recover. Jerk dip, if your knees or hips are in pain or your back is in pain, is going to be laboured.
It's the most, yeah.
And I'm going to imagine trying to jerk dip at 260. So maybe that opportunity to heal up a bit gave him a chance.
Just one completely aside note to this, and I know we've talked about this training hall before being in the middle of like a secret complex where nobody can get to it.
With unfinished buildings, yeah.
But the coat rack in the background's a lovely touch for a training hall.
Do you think so?
Come in, take your big jacket off because it's cold in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really think so, yeah.
Lovely part of the world. Not much greenery of that part of the world, but still very nice. Now, sticking with our supers, we've Rustam, who is a Uzbekistani super heavyweight, squatting 350 kilos. And we were wondering recently, what's the most you can fit on a bar? And it turns out 350 actually is the answer with Olympic plates.
350 if you have people just gently pushing it in.
Yeah. It's weird because they're obviously not helping him, but they're still touching the bar. And
in fact, I would say they're making it more difficult.
They're making a bamboo bar squat.
My God. That is insanity.
That is very easy. Yeah. This is what we were talking about last week, is that sometimes people move things so well that are so heavy that it actually does them a disservice for how impressive the thing they're doing is. 350.
even that's a lovely looking squat. The mechanics of that squat are very nice, really upright. Just nothing major in terms of like no crazy knees out in front, no crazy hips back behind.
No, and bearing it as well.
So nice.
Yeah.
For a super, that's an incredibly nice squat.
Whoa, what do you mean for a super?
Sorry.
Oh,
Did that hit a nerve for you?
Yeah, you're the one who's 120 kilos. Next up, we've got the man, the myth, the legend is still training. First squat session of 2023. Lou Zhaojuan.
Lupert.
110. So he seems to squat deeper the lighter he is and not as heavy.
Yeah.
So 110 kilos for a lot of repetitions in his Yeezy drip shoes.
These just look so easy.
He's so skinny again.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going. I can't imagine it's very easy to get, and I've no basis for this scenario, but I can't imagine it's easy to get underground gear in China.
No.
Or maybe it's really easy because they make all of it.
Yeah, I was just about to say every steroid in the world comes from China.
It's probably very easy to get it, actually.
It doesn't look like he's gotten it, though.
No, but I'm sure he could figure it the fuck out.
I know we talked about this last week, but there's somebody saying the clock of arc starts now in the comments.
I started that.
Yeah. I want that.
I want that.
I think I started that.
No, I literally put up a short saying, will he go full clock off?
Oh, but I think I said it in a video.
We started that.
We started it. Sika started it.
I want to see him go.
I'm not gonna lie, Garth. I don't.
As long as he's comfortable with the health parameters, obviously.
Yeah,
go on.
I've no interest in seeing weightlifters who were really, really good lifting mediocre weights.
I want to see him clean. No, I don't know what I want to see him. I want to see him snatch something massive.
I want to see him. Like, I was watching a video of him clean and squat jerking 200 kilos last night, and it's just.
I've no interest in seeing a big clean and squat jerk.
Don't you?
I'll take it because it's Lupert, but if it's not 220 kilos, I just don't think.
Even just a clean, 230 kilo clean as an 81.5 kilo Lou.
No, I don't love his cleans. They're not.
Yeah.
They're very no footy.
They're very.
I want to see a huge snatch from him.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of people with massive squats, we've got the Archem Anthropov section of the new show. Archem with a 210 kilo clean and push jerk. So, very nice push jerk. I sincerely hope he's not moving to push jerk or power jerk.
No, surely not.
He's gone for the high wrap, quad wrap of the stands.
Yeah.
It's
my God, that's insanely easy.
Did you say you liked the high quad wrap, did you?
Yeah.
What was the reason?
As somebody with zero quad. Obviously, Archem isn't in that position, but yeah, you get a lot of proprioceptive awareness and that kind of extra tightness up around your adductors. It does feel good. It feels good if your quads are very fatigued or you have some kind of maybe upper tendon issue or an insertion issue on your hip flexor. It feels quite good as well.
That is a beautiful power jerk.
That looks like if he really tried, he could push press that.
I bet he doesn't have a great push press.
Look at how high that barbell goes.
That's a beautiful power jerk.
Insane.
That's how you hope all of your athletes power jerk when you give them a power jerk sometimes. They don't though.
I literally have never seen anyone do it that well.
Now, Fitz, do you want to introduce this one? Because you've brought this in.
This just popped up as I was scrolling through Instagram one evening. I don't know this gentleman. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Hamza
Demir.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's just a standard. I didn't read the thing. Just a standard guy maxing out powerlifting low bar style squat. I think his best squat before had been like 260 or something, or he definitely celebrates heavily. The weight just keeps getting heavier and the squat keeps being as deep, like it's a squat to parallel low bar style. Very, very nice squat. So he's really excited here at 260, and then he goes to 280, which leads me to believe it's more than a 20 kilo PB. He makes that big shout at the top, and then he squats 300 kilos, Garth. 17 years old.
Yeah.
Squats 300 kilos, and from my deduction of how happy he is with each rep, it could possibly be a 40 kilo PB.
But I don't know if I want to.
Go on.
I don't know what. Like, I love the squats, by the way. I just phenomenal, incredible work, right?
Lovely squat positions for low bar.
But I won't bring it up now. But I'm just going to mention something that we've talked about before ad nauseum, and it's one thing I'm vehemently against.
Yes.
You know, and I just don't like to see it. And I'm kind of like, oh, for their sake, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, incredible lifting. phenomenal. 300 kilos, absolutely bearing it. Very bright future if he keeps
Unbelievable.
Huge amount of ankle dorsiflexion. Incredible work.
Yeah.
Incredible work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Insane.
So technically a 40 kilo PB?
Sorry, I'm making assumptions because of how happy he was with 260.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what his best squat was prior to this.
Incredible lifting.
Yeah.
IPF 105. Next, we've got HafThor tore his pec on a bench press. Now, here's the picture.
Did he half tore it? Or fully tear it?
I didn't even think of that.
There it is.
You're crazy. Get out of here, Dara. Fuck off. That's crazy.
We're not going to watch the video of him tearing it, are we?
Actually, you know what? There's actually no point because I can't even find them.
I can't vomit live on the internet anymore.
No, there's literally nothing happens. He just brings the barbell down and then he he just goes, nope, and lets go of it and people grab the bar.
Okay.
So it's not in any way graphic.
It's the advantage of training in his massive gym in Iceland where he's surrounded by other massive humans.
Yeah, it does help. And it's fair enough tearing it at 240.
Yeah. 510 pounds. That's insane.
More, 530 pounds or something.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think the thing you need to... One thing I want to talk about on this is everyone's like, pec tears gear. Pec tears gear.
Yeah.
Because there is this correlation between androgen use and tears, or androgen use and tendon ruptures. But I think 240 kilo bench presses will just tear your pec. Like, I don't think that's anything to do with gear, to be honest.
It seems like if you are benching heavy enough for long enough, you're more likely to tear your pec than not tear your pec.
It's like if you're a boxer, you'll probably get punched in the face. If you're bench pressing 530 pounds, you'll probably tear a pec.
Yeah, well, 240 kilos because we're not in America. Now, next up, we've got Luke Richardson, another strongman. And Luke has just such a great squat. All these squats look very, very easy. And he's inks 260 for 8. Last set of 8s, I bet he did something like 8x8 or 6x8.
You know what? Luke's squat is exactly how I'd want every big, strong person to squat.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. It's not that there's no airs or graces around it, but it's just a standard squat. Mm-hmm. Super consistent. Nice amount of leg recruitment. Nothing crazy by pushing your knees out to the side. He's not driving his ass back a massive amount. It's just a big, strong squat for a big, strong human.
Yeah, feet outside of hip width, toes straight ahead, which is very impressive in terms of the ankle mobility, and huge amount of quad recruitment. Nice, consistent back angle, and then just drive through the bar on the way up. Beautiful squatting.
260 for a set of 8 as well is some sort of unhuman.
It's hypnotic watching this set of squats.
Yeah.
Then we've got Ivan Makarov Strong, which I think is a fair name on Instagram. Ivan's been on the show a few times before, but here he is doing 436 kilos. 436 kilos for a repetition.
Look, we just had Luke Richardson on the screen previously.
Conventional.
Doing crazy squats. This is just lunacy.
2. Over a 3. In a deadlift suit. Apparently a lot of them say the deadlift suits don't really make that much of a difference. Maybe a little bit. I'd be interested to see if anyone's ever talked about how much of a difference it really makes. I suppose it is still a suit at the end of the day if we're just kind of getting into that.
Yeah.
But it's a 436 kilo for 3 reps on the deadlifts.
It's lunacy.
He says he's coming for 505.
That is absolutely insane. Like, with the squat suits definitely, in my head, it's a very different thing from a squat. In my head, a conventional deadlift wearing a suit, I don't really view it as a different thing. I think there's definitely an amount of help there, but it's like squat with knee sleeve or squat without knee sleeve.
Yeah, I can't help but come at it from the kind of the non-strongman side where like he's wearing a deadlift.
The raw natty vegan side.
Yeah, he's wearing a deadlift suit, but it's still a frightfully impressive lift.
436 kilos. That's like double your body weight.
Well, 1.8 times my body weight. So next we have got... So last week we had the Korean bodybuilder squatting to 70, and now we have another bodybuilder, Kyle Tiger Carvey. Rare. So he has got 227 kilos for 22 reps I thought it was 501 for some reason. But he said 5-plate cardio. Why he calls himself Tiger?
I don't know.
Um,
There was a bouncer in Magaluf called Leo the Lion or Lenny the Lion.
Right.
And his party trick used to be he'd pick someone up. So he picked one of our buddies up and pressed him over his head. And your man was like 120 kilos.
Was he squatting 227 kilo for
No.
very fast reps?
No.
22 reps? You don't see a lot of bodybuilders squatting that heavy anymore. It used to be a big thing with the Tom Platz. Tom Platz, of course, has become a meme recently in terms of his motivational stuff. And I always liked the Tom Platz stuff. He was a very enthusiastic speaker. But very interesting to see this.
I think this is going to be an area of like the fitness industry that's going to get way bigger in the next few years. People who are bodybuilders, but also squatting and lifting very, very heavy in their bodybuilding training.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to become much more prevalent than it is now.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I just feel like the way the popular culture is going, that people will have more interest in doing it. Definitely because of the popularity of powerlifting becoming more kind of mainstream, but also because of people like Tom Platz becoming more kind of cult heroes.
Yes.
On the internet, you know.
I'm not sure I recognize those shoes he's using either. Next up, we've got Chuck, the Nigerian thrower. So the Chuck says is his Instagram handle. So we've had Chuck on the show a few times. Here he is blistering to 317.5 kilos, 700 pounds for a double. So they're kind of parallel, but we talk about this a lot. Like, this makes sense for throwers. It's really heavy weights fast. And if you've watched any of our throw reaction videos, this is what we're all about. Heavy weights fast. Obviously to a reasonable range of motion. You know, obviously just bending your knees slightly or dipping at the barbell is not useful. But if you're moving through a reasonably sufficient range of motion with heavy weights, you're going to get a huge training effect.
And you know what, as well, from this angle, he's bang on parallel. But you're right at knee height with the camera. You're from directly behind. I bet if you watch these squats from the side, they actually look a lot deeper as well.
But why are throwers always at it is the question. Why are they always at it?
He makes a fool of 700 pounds there.
It's how fast it's moving on the rep up doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
No.
I'm not sure I can think of too many other people alive who could squat. Get that second half of that squat up that fast with 700 pounds.
Another interesting little note, probably adding to the speed element to this, it looks like he has a linear force transducer or some sort of accelerometer on the bar over his left shoulder.
Oh, yes, there is one of those you can clamp over the barbell. That's probably exactly what that is.
Yeah.
That definitely like motivates you a little bit more than you normally would, is to move as fast as possible.
I have seen with the All Blacks gym work when they're doing like a power gym session, they'll have somebody like the training partner. So if it's not your set, they'll have it on a tablet. They'll be shouting out the speeds.
Okay.
So they're like 2.4, 2.4, 2.5, and you have to keep getting faster, you know.
Kind of getting that observer effect because you're definitely influencing it by observing it. Now, next up, we've got, I'm not going to say his name, but he's a French powerlifter. A lot of you probably know he is a resident French speaker. Darren's going to try to say his name.
Panagiotti.
All right. He is an IPF lifter, 2021 world champion and European champion in the 66 kilo class. Now, why he's on the new show is obviously because he deadlifted 290 kilos at 69 kilo body weight. But I know a lot of you guys will be very, very, very happy to see him training with the ultimate YouTube meme, which is Mr. Grizzly. So here's 290 kilos, conventional.
That deadlift is unbelievable.
I thought it was a pause deadlift initially there, but he's just really strong and it's hard to lift that much weight.
That is, my God, that's an impressive deadlift.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
I'm genuinely blown away by that.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Oh.
What weight? 69 kilos.
69 kilos. Conventional.
What is that, 3.3 or 3.2 times body weight? That is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very impressive.
Yeah. And then we have him benching 172.5 kilos with Mr. Grizzly.
Mr. Grizzly has blown up in the last year, hasn't he?
The Greek. He's been a meme forever. People just love him for the difficult. And then you just get, like, people love him so much.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're into jiu-jitsu ourselves. He'd be a difficult man to wrestle, to get your arms around.
Yeah, but if you just hold them off for a few seconds, eventually I'd
I
imagine.
think you just have to spin around the back.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially easier if he's wearing a gi. So 172.5 kilos, also ridiculously impressive.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder. So his name kind of looks. So Pana was born in France, from what I could see, but that does look like a Greek name. So I wonder if he was able to traveling home for some reason. I don't think I see it mentioned anywhere, but a very, very strong dude.
Yeah, insanely strong.
Yep. Lastly, we've got the beast of the week this week. I think is Joe O'Sullivan. So he's been on the show a few times, but Joe just put up this picture the other day, and the caption was, "The out of shape, cardiovascularly unfit, immobile, and unadaptable powerlifters going extinct continue to lament over new knee sleeves, minimal drug use, diversification of training, new methods and ideas, or adapt and excel along with the new generation. We all get to choose, and that choice is made every day."
Joe is very much holding the flag for the in shape, ripped to death powerlifter.
Yes. Yep.
He is in insane shape.
Had a very interesting podcast with his coach, Jake, I think was the name of his coach, who is doing a lot of the other stuff around the drug use, which they're trying to maximize as much as possible. So stuff like injectable L-carnitine and choline, some nootropics like Noopept, and a few other interesting things like that. I don't know if anyone saw from Instagram story. I was looking to see if Noopept was banned by WADA. I was just wondering, because some of those race TAMs and meldonium and stuff are actually banned by WADA, but I don't think Noopept is, and they were big on it. And obviously injectable L-carnitine and choline, as far as I'm aware, aren't banned. So it's interesting to see. They were talking about stuff that are over the counter, are legal supplements, which is quite interesting. And it'd be interesting to see how that transforms over the next 5 to 10 years in terms of the use of those things. There's so much scientific literature out there. You just need someone who's reading it and ready to piece it together, because the amount of articles published every year is unfeasible for you to be able to disseminate. So you need someone literally with a full-time job or more likely a supercomputer.
I also think as well, most of those studies are in pretty small controlled settings, not really in athletes, and you need somebody then who's able to bridge that gap between the clinical application of something and the practical application in like a performance enhancing context.
Yes.
Joe is just in insane shape.
Incredible shape, yeah. So
obviously Joe is an incredibly strong human, but he's also a weapon of a man.
Yeah, in great nick. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the new show. Once again, thank you for everyone who comments and tags us in Instagram and shares stuff with us that we might have seen. So a lot of this week's was stuff we hadn't seen before. So thank you so much. So in honor of the European Weightlifting Championships just being finished, today's new show is brought to you by the Weightlifting 2.0 program. So this is the next generation of our weightlifting program. It is sold in 12-week blocks, 4 sessions per week, and this is an encapsulated training block for you to complete. This is our most recent release, and the first block is coming to finish for a lot of people, and we're seeing a lot of great progress. The second block will be released in the coming weeks, another 12-week block, but this lets you know from start to finish, all your snatch and clean and jerk and squat will be peaked by the end, along with all of your assistance work.